Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe now as we go into our story for today, which is titled, The River That Punishes a Liar Part 2. So, after the lie of the young man, whose name is Teo, the lie begins to spread in the village. As the sun rose over Obirin village the next morning, the sky glowed orange like burning palm oil. Birds sang, children ran around playing. But something was not normal as supposed. Everywhere people gathered in small groups, whispering to each other. Did you hear what Teo said to the elders yesterday? I heard he blamed the farmers for the missing goats. No, I heard he said the river spirit cursed him. Everyone had a different story. The lies began to grow wings. It was flying across the village like a stubborn mosquito. Teo walked through the village square with his chest raised high, pretending not to hear the people talking, but inside his heart, he was afraid. For each whisper he heard, the river inside him shook like thunder. One day, Elder Okonjo sat under the old Iroko tree, watching the villagers' faces. Their eyes were worried. Their voices were shaky. He tapped his wooden staff on the ground. Talk, talk, talk. The sound traveled far, like a call to unseen spirits. The lie is spreading too fast, Elder Okonjo muttered, and when lies spread, the ancestors wake. Just then, a sudden cold wind blew past him. The leaves rustled, the drums in a distant compound fell silent. Even the fire in a nearby cooking pot went low for a moment. Elder Okonjo frowned. The spirits have opened their eyes, he whispered. Nature begins to act strange. That afternoon, strange things began to happen. Women went to the river to fetch water, but the river was too still. No ripples, no movement. It looked like a giant mirror. A little girl threw a stone into the water. Plop, no waves. No circles, nothing. Her mother pulled her back quickly. Child, don't play with the water today. Palm trees began to bend, though there was no wind. Goats refused to walk near the river path. The sky grew darker even though it was not evening yet, and everyone started to fear. Why is nature acting like this? What did we do wrong? Is the river angry? Whispers grew louder. Fear spread like wildfire. Inside his hut, Teo sat alone, sweating even though the day was cool. He could hear the whispers of the villagers outside. He could hear the soft hum of the river far away. But suddenly, he heard something else, a voice, soft or slow. Cold. Teo, you lied. He jumped to his feet. Who said that? Silence, only the sound of his pounding heart. He covered his ears, but the voice came again. Teo, you lied, and the river does not forget. He ran outside, breathing fast like someone chased by spirits. Near sunset, the villagers gathered around the riverbank. Everyone could feel something strange in the air. The sky looked purple, the water glowed faintly blue. A mist rose from the surface like a sleeping giant waking up. Suddenly, whoosh! A strong wind blew through the crowd. People grabbed their wrappers and held their children close. Elder Okonjo raised his staff. Stand still, he commanded. The mist on the river swirled into the shape of a tall shadow. Its eyes glowed like two bright moons. A deep voice rose from the water, shaking every heart. A lie has been spoken in this village. The villagers gasped. Some knelt, some cried. And until the truth is told, the river will not rest. The shadow faded. The water returned to stillness. But fear remained. A river spirit had spoken. That night, the elders met in a circle. Torches burned brightly. The air smelled of palm oil and fear. "We must find the liar," said Elder Okonjo. "We must save our land before the river punishes all of us," villagers shouted. "Who lied? Who angered the spirits? Let the person speak now." Elder Okonjo looked at Teo, and Teo looked at the ground. Sweat rolled down his face. He knew it was him. He knew the river knew. He knew the ancestors were watching, but fear held his tongue shut. He whispered to himself, maybe if I keep quiet, this will all go away." But deep down, he knew the river had only given a warning. The real punishment had not yet begun. Late in the night, when the moon was bright and the village was quiet, something stirred inside the river. Shadows rose from the water. Figures, shaped like smoke, glided across the surface. Eyes glowed inside the dark mist. The spirits were not asleep anymore. They were awake. They were listening. They were searching. And they whispered one name, over and over. "Teo, Teo, Teo, you have lied." And later that night in Obirin village was the quietest night anyone had ever seen. The moon hung high like a silver drum. The wind did not blow. The birds did not sing. Even the crickets kept silent. It was as if the whole world was holding its breath. Teo could not sleep. He lay on his mat, turning from left to right. His heart beat fast like talking drums. He knew something was coming. Something from the river. Suddenly, boom! A loud sound came from the river, like a giant beating the water with a big hand. Teo sat up quickly. What was that?" He whispered. Another sound came. Boom! Then a third. Boom! It shook the whole village. Calabashes fell. Goats cried. Babies woke up. The villagers rushed out of their huts. "It is the river!" Someone shouted. "It is calling us!" Elder Okonjo lifted his staff. "Everyone, move to the riverbank, now!" Torches were lit. Men, women, and children followed the elders. Teo walked slowly behind them. His legs were shaking. He knew the river was calling him. When the villagers reached the river, something strange happened. The water began to move, not like normal waves, but like something living was rising inside it. The glowing mist from yesterday returned, brighter and thicker. Everyone stepped back. Elder Okonjo whispered, "The spirits. They are fully awake." Suddenly, splosh! A tall shadow rose from the water. Its eyes shone bright blue. Its voice was deep and cold. "The truth has not been spoken." The villagers knelt down. "We are sorry, Great Spirit," they cried. "Tell us what we must do." But the spirit did not look at anyone, except Teo. Its huge hand of mist pointed straight at him. "Teo!" The whole village gasped. Teo froze. His mouth became dry. His legs refused to move. The spirit's voice grew louder. Murmurs filled the crowd. So, it was Teo. He is the one. He caused all this. Elder Okonjo stepped forward. "Teo, I speak. Is this true?" Teo's tears fell even before he spoke. Yes, Elder. I lied." A loud cry rose from the villagers. "Ah, why would you lie to the elders? Why blame the innocent? You have angered the river." Teo fell to his knees. "I was afraid. I didn't want them to punish me. I didn't want to look wrong. I just lied." The spirit's voice echoed across the water. "A lie may be small, but its effect is great." The water began swirling around Teo's feet. He screamed, "No, please, I'm sorry." The swirling water lifted him slightly off the ground, like unseen hands were carrying him. Villagers cried out, "Spirit, have mercy. He is a young man. Forgive him." But the spirit shook its head slowly when truth is hidden. Nature suffers, villages fall, spirits wake. Teo's body trembled as the river's cold mist wrapped around him. Elder Okonjo stepped forward. "Great Spirit, please, he has confessed. Let your punishment teach, not destroy." The spirit paused. The mist slowly loosened. The river spirit turned its glowing eyes toward the elders. "He shall be punished, but he shall live." Teo collapsed on the ground, shaking but alive. The villagers sighed with relief. The spirit raised its hand. The sky flashed. A mark appeared on Teo's forehead, a glowing blue symbol of rippling water. Everyone gasped loudly. "What is that? What does it mean?" "Is he cursed?" the spirit answered. "This mark will remain until he speaks truth in all things. When he lies, it will burn. When he speaks the truth, it will shine." Teo touched his forehead and cried, "I will never lie again. Never. I swear before the ancestors." The spirit nodded slowly. "Let this be a lesson to all." The mist faded, and so the waters calmed. Subscribe now and follow for more powerful African stories.